focus, there's absorption of mineral salts, diffusion, active transport, transport of water and minerals, xylem, root pressure, and capillary actions. Now, first topic, absorption of mineral salts by roots. So, students, absorption of mineral salts, along with the water, there are some mineral ions. Minerals are what? These are the molecules which are required by the plants for their different processes. Okay, the plant is not only made up of water, it is made up of different minerals. So along with water, some of the mineral ions which are actually soluble in water, so they get easily absorbed or absorbed by the plants. Okay, but the process, this is not only by this is not only absorbed by the process of osmosis. Okay, because some of the mineral ions are not soluble, or they are having a low concentration in the soil, then how it the absorption takes place. So there are two processes. First one is diffusion and second one is active transport. Okay, let me show you what is diffusion. So diffusion is the process, it is just like osmosis. Diffusion is a process in which molecules move from the region of their higher concentration to the region of their lower concentration. Okay, as like in the osmosis, the same thing happens. Then molecules pass from the higher concentration to the region of their lower concentration. What's the basic difference between these two? Here the molecules of solid, liquid or gas moves, but in osmosis there is only liquid, or I can say water molecules move. And there was in osmosis there is a process, there is a membrane, semi permeable membrane, but here in diffusion there is no membrane is required. Okay, let me show you by a picture that how it is. Consider that you are having a glass, and here some colored substance, colored particle powder or something, which is kept in it, or copper sulfate crystals are put in it. Okay, after some times this copper sulfate starts dissolving in water and starts spreading in the whole water. Okay, so this is called diffusion. Here that molecules from their higher concentration, it moves to the lower concentration until the equilibrium is set up in it, until the whole water molecules having equal distribution of this copper sulfate. Okay, this is called diffusion. Isn't it simple? Yeah. This the same way these molecules, mineral ions, move from the region of their higher concentration. Here you are seeing these mineral ions. Okay, so move from the region of their higher concentration to the region of their lower concentration. This is called diffusion. So this is very simple diffusion. Okay, mineral ions just absorb through the process of diffusion. This is also called, yeah. One more thing, that this process is called as passive absorption. Why it is called as passive absorption? Because such type of absorption does not require energy. Okay, for this molecules move from higher concentration to the lower concentration, or here you can see that these molecules move from higher to lower concentration. So for this there is no extra energy is needed for it. Okay, so that's why it is called as passive absorption or passive transport. Now there is active transport. Active transport is what? Here the molecules move from, it is just opposite. Listen it very carefully. That molecules move from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration. Yeah, so it means it's a different, it is opposite of osmosis or diffusion. Okay, so molecules move from the lower concentration, from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration. Isn't it? It's possible. It means that here you can see that there are more lower level of molecules and how it is transported to the higher concentration. So for such a movement there is energy required, and this energy is obtained by the process of respiration. And respiration for that time that ATP, that energy is stored in the form of ATP and derived by the process of respiration. Okay. Um, Let me make it easier. Okay. So the process in which mineral mineral ions move from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration by using energy. In the passive there is no need of energy, but in the active energy is needed, and this energy is derived from the ATP molecules. Okay, now, where is this ATP molecules present? So, these ATP molecules are stored in the mitochondria. Now, you are thinking, what is mitochondria? So, mitochondria is actually present in the cell. Okay, so the mitochondria is one of the part, or I can say cell organelle, which is present in the cell. And at the time of respiration process, this mitochondria helps in the oxidation of food, and then energy is released, and this energy which released is stored in the form of ATP. Okay, so now you are saying, ma'am, you told me that I am gonna easier, but it becomes difficult. So I was just explaining that how this energy is derived. Otherwise, don't remember that part. You just remember one thing only, that molecules move from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration by using energy in the form of ATP. Okay, this much is sufficient for you. Let me show you it by a picture. So here that there is lower level of molecules outside the cell, okay, and inside the cell there are already more molecules. So from lower concentration, when molecules move to the higher concentration by using ATP. Now here you are seeing that what is this? This is actually a carrier molecule or carrier protein. Okay, so this is a cell membrane actually. So in the cell membrane there are some protein molecules which are working as a carrier. Okay, so they take this mineral ions from outside the cell and give it to the inside cell, inside the cell. Okay, so it they help to carry it from outside to inside. Okay, so for this, how they work? So for this, they need energy. This protein molecule need energy, and this they get energy from this ATP molecules, and that's how they bring the mineral ions from the lower concentration to the region of the higher concentration. Let me compare active and passive transport. So this is active transport and passive transport. Passive transport, it is very easy that if there are higher molecules, then it just transfer to the lower molecules. So it is very easy, and the process is called diffusion or passive transport. For this, there is no need of energy. But in active transport, the molecule, because there are lower concentrations, so energy is required, and these protein molecules work as a carrier, and just they transfer it to the higher concentration region. It means inside the cell. Got it? So this is about active transport. One more thing, that which type of mineral ions are transported actively. So these are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. N, P, and K. K is the symbol of potassium. So N, P, K are generally absorbed by active transport. Got it? Now, next, transport of water and minerals. Students, you know that how this water transport in plants. This picture, I think you remember that from the soil there is a film of water nearby the root hair. Then this root hair absorb water, along with it mineral ions are also diffused. So yes, through root hair it reaches to nearby cells. Okay, so here are these are the root cells, root cortex, and then finally it reaches to the xylem vessels. Okay, so xylem vessels are what? These are the special conducting tube like tissues. Okay, so these are the special conducting tube like vessels, and these are called as xylem vessels or xylem tissue, which helps to conduct water to the upper part of the plant. Okay, so let us see what's the structure of xylem. So xylem is what? It is a tissue, okay, which are present in the plant, and it is made up of four components or four elements. What these four elements are? Xylem parenchyma, xylem vessels, xylem tracheids, and xylem fibers. Parenchyma, vessels, tracheids, and fibers. These are the four components of xylem. Okay, out of these four components, one of the component is living and remaining three are dead. And which one is the living component? Xylem parenchyma. Xylem parenchyma is the living component of the xylem. Okay. Again, out of this four component, two are the main components. What are these main components? Tracheids and vessels. So vessels and tracheids are the main component. Let us see how they look. So here you are seeing this is a xylem tissue, okay, and as I told you that it is made up of four components. So here it is vessel, this is tracheids, and here outside of it there is parenchyma. Now one component is missing, so I'm showing another picture to you. Here you are seeing that this is vessel, the vessel part. Here it is a vessel part, so it looks like this. Then tracheids, okay, and here fiber. So this fiber part is missing in this picture, so I'm showing this, and it is perforated so that water can easily pass by this pores to the different components of this xylem. Okay, so here you are seeing that there are some pores are there, okay, and which helps to make the water travel to the upper part of the plant. Got it? So, by just knowing it, can you tell me what's the function of xylem? It helps in conduction of water. Yeah, it helps in conduction of water and minerals to the upper part of the plant, as I have shown you a picture. It helps, the xylem vessels helps to conduct water to the upper parts of the plant. Okay, and xylem actually works in a unidirectional way. Okay, unidirectional, it means it works in only one direction, from lower level to upper part. Okay, it conducts water and minerals to the upper part of the plant, and which is one direction or unidirectional. One more function xylem performs besides conduction, it helps in providing mechanical support to the plant. Okay, it gives mechanical strength to the plant. Got it? So this is about xylem. Now, ascent of sap. So water along with minerals. Students, water and minerals, as you know, that these are together conducted to the upper parts of the plant. And you know, this together forms a substance, and that substance is called sap. Okay, water along with minerals in plants are known as sap. Okay, the upward movement of sap is called conduction. Okay, the upward movement of sap is called as conduction, or it is also called as ascent of sap, and this is the name of the topic, ascent of sap. So sap you understand, and ascent it means just moving upward. Okay, so now I think understood ascent of sap. Conduction, or I can say ascent of sap, occurs through the vessels of xylem tissue. Now I think you this also you understood that this conduction, or I can say upward movement of the sap, is done with the help of xylem vessels. Got it? Now, you know, students, there are different scientists have different opinion regarding ascent of sap, that how this ascent of sap takes place. Isn't it like just water get into the cell and that the xylem just conducted to the upper parts of the plant? So different scientists have given different theories. Okay, so there is one theory which is called as root pressure theory. See, the picture is very beautiful, very clear, no? Yo, so, an osmotic pressure, according to root pressure, an osmotic pressure exerted by the cells. Osmotic pressure, if you remember osmosis, so that water from the soil just enter into the root here. okay, by the process of osmosis. Okay, so here now root hair is having more water as compared to nearby cells. Okay, so by this the water, by crossing semi-permeable membrane, it moves to the, from higher concentration it reaches to the lower concentration, okay, by the process of osmosis. Similarly, here there is lower concentration, so from higher to lower it passes to this cell, and then the process is going on. Okay, so here when this takes place, there is a pressure generated, and as the process is called as osmosis, so pressure is called as osmotic pressure. So there is a pressure which helps to push water from one cell to nearby cell, and from nearby cell to other subsidiary cells, other nearby cells. Okay, so and as the pressure is created in the root, and that's why it is also called as root pressure. Okay, so root pressure is actually an osmotic pressure which helps to make the water to move from one cell to another cell, and to the finally to the xylem, and then it is conducted to the upper part of the plant. Okay, so this is one of the theory given as the root pressure theory. Okay, so yeah, it may be that it is effective, but you know, students, this is effective for short heighted plant only. Okay, that from one cell to another cell, and then it reaches to xylem, and that is conducted. But it happens only when there is more amount of water. Okay, what would happen if the plant is having a good height, if the plant is tall, or if it is a tree, then how it reaches by this process, by root pressure theory? Is that sufficient osmotic pressure developed that it reaches to the highest or the tallest trees? Isn't it? No, this theory is not so supportive or not so effective to the tall trees. Then another theory is given. This is called as capillary force or capillary action theory, capillarity theory. Okay, according to this theory, that xylem tissue in plant acts as a capillary tubes. Okay, how it is capillary tubes? Let me show you. Let me give you an example. For example, uh, what to give? Yeah, you're having a fountain pen, right? And when you jerk it, and suddenly it falls on the page, then you see that the ink starts spreading on this page, on the page. Okay, that drop of ink starts spreading over it. So how it happens? It is just by the action of capillary. It means that the paper is having some minute particles, or that minute spaces by which it moves. Okay, so that is called capillary action. Let me give you another more easier example. um Consider that you are having a table, and on which some water or a drop of water is fall on it. Okay, and you are having a paper strip, right? So you just touch a tip of the paper strip over the drop, and you will see that water rises up in this paper drop. Sorry, in this paper strip. How this water rises up to the strip. Okay, so there is an action by which this is called capillary action. This is how that water, when it touches the another surface, then it just rises up. Okay, and this is called capillary action or capillary force. Okay, now I think you understood that what is capillary force and plants. So according to this theory, the xylem tissue in plant act as a capillary tubes, and these tubes create a capillary force, so that the water rises up, or the sap rises up from the root to the upper parts of the plant. Isn't it? Yeah, this theory is effective if the plants are short heighted. Still, what will happen to the trees which are, we can say, the tallest trees of the world, like redwood, sequoias? These are the tallest trees. So what, oak trees? Okay, so how water is conducted to this much tall tree? Because they are having good like they are having meters, several meters. These are the length, or I can say height of the trees are like several meters, right? So how this water is conducted, how this ascent of sap takes place to these trees? There are so many leaves and all leaves require water, right? So now, students, I am not gonna disclose it. I am making it suspense. If you are having curiosity, then just check your book. Otherwise, wait for the next video. Till then, just think about it, that how this water rises up to the tallest trees. Okay? Till then, good day, take care, bye bye.